All right, so today we're diving into a topic I think a lot of you are going to find really interesting, something we all probably think about a lot, but maybe haven't had the chance to really analyze.
Yeah.
It's friendship among women. Specifically, what makes these relationships tick and why they seem to hold such a central place for a lot of people.
Right. And, your request was basically to get to the heart of these dynamics,
Right.
right? Like what makes these bonds so powerful and unique? And we've got a lot of great insights to dig into.
We do. So, kicking things off, I think it's fair to say that while all friendships offer support, there's something about the connections between women that often seems to stand out. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. I think it's clear these friendships often form like a core part of a woman's support system.
Hmm.
You hear about this intense emotional intimacy that's really remarkable.
You really do. And this feeling of being truly understood, which I think is so important.
Yeah. And, research even backs that up. Studies show female friendships often prioritize emotional disclosure and like this reciprocal empathy, you know,
Yeah.
more so than other types of friendships. It creates this feeling of being truly seen and validated.
I see. So it's like having this built-in understanding, someone who just gets you without needing a ton of explanation.
Exactly. It's like a
Yeah.
special kind of social scaffolding. But of course, with this depth of connection, we also hear about, the potential for conflict to be pretty intense too.
Right, right. So is that just the flip side of the coin? Like when you're that emotionally invested, disagreements hit harder?
And that's a big part of it. Yeah. When you have that level of emotional investment, the stakes feel higher. But what's interesting is that research also shows that the ways women tend to communicate during conflict prioritizes actually maintaining the connection. Like even when they disagree, they're often working towards repair.
Oh, that's really interesting. So it's less about avoiding conflict altogether and more about having the tools to work through it in a way that strengthens the bond.
Exactly. And one of the things that really stood out to me in the material you shared was how these friendships evolve through different stages of life.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
What's remarkable is the adaptability. These friendships often go through huge transitions, career changes, starting families, moving, you name it. But the core connection often stays strong because the way they support each other shifts and adjusts to fit those new needs.
So they kind of grow and change along with the people in them.
Right. And that's what allows them to last. So if you had to boil it down to one key takeaway for our listeners, what would you say is at the heart of these dynamics?
That's a good question.
Like if someone wants to understand what makes these relationships tick.
I think for me, it's that validation piece we talked about.
Hmm.
Having someone who gets you on such a deep level that they can reflect back your own experiences in a way that feels truly meaningful.
I think that's spot on.
And for me, a real aha moment was realizing that the willingness to be vulnerable with each other is what allows that to happen. It's not weakness, it's actually the foundation for this incredible strength and connection.
You're so right. It's about creating a space where you can be completely yourself and know that you'll be met with understanding and support.
And that kind of mutual empowerment can be incredibly resilient. So for everyone listening, think about this.
Yeah.
How might these principles we've discussed apply to your own close relationships? Not just friendships between women, but any bond where that shared understanding and adaptability is present. It's definitely something worth reflecting on. Thanks for diving depth with us.